loaded up the necessities. We were going to ship whatever we couldn't pack back, but I learned from the Tetris master how to pack a car. So we got just about everything in there except one big UPS box that my sister-in-law can ship. There's this little nook in the back seat where my father-in-law could sit. He had his iPad, he had his book, and he was giving me weather updates as we proceeded.
You need those.
And one of the news stories he came across on his iPad was what it costs for a beer and a hot dog at NFL games.
Oh, God, it ain't cheap, is it?
And he went through the whole list, which I'm now going to share with you.
All right.
You know that if you go to an NFL game, you're not going to be getting a good deal on beer. No. That was one thing we learned.
You're not going to get a buy one, get one free.
No. God forbid you buy a $250 ticket to sit there and watch a game sober, especially after the service fees that Jen paid.
Right? My God.
According to a website called sportscasting.com, NFL fans will have to pay $15.02 for a beer and a hot dog at stadiums this season, but not all the prices are the same. Here are the stadiums where a brew and a dog cost the most, courtesy of my father-in-law who forwarded this article.
He's doing your show prep for you.
He is. I love it.
That's great. Hire him.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's see. You want to know the most expensive? You want me to start there, or you want me to go the other way?
Let's go the other way. I want to know who's cheap.
We like a slow build.
Let's see. Okay. Let's see. The Houston Texans, Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, and Detroit Lions all came in kind of at the bottom at $12 for both. Oh, no. I screwed that up. See?
How hard is it over there? He needs to do a better job writing this for you.
No. He's listening right now saying, I can't trust this kid to do anything right. This is who my daughter married?
Screwing it up.
Yeah. No, the stadiums where a beer and hot dog costs the least are Atlanta Falcons, $7.49.
That's not bad at all.
For a beer and hot dog?
$7.49.
Wow. That's great.
I mean, they have to have like a bargain.
It's got to be a special section, and that line is very long.
It's red, white, and blue, and an Oscar Mayer wiener.
And you got to be in there by like 9 a.m.
Atlanta has the cheapest hot dogs at just $2 each.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and 22 teams charge more for a beer than what the Falcons charge for both a beer and a hot dog.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of those stadiums.
Yeah, so the Atlanta Falcons are the cheapest. The Miami Dolphins are the second least expensive at $9.98. And then you got the Bengals, the Houston Texans, the Ravens, and the Detroit Lions all coming in at just under $12 for both.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when you break it down, when you just look at the beer, four teams only charge $5.49 for a beer. And that would be the New York Jets, the Detroit Lions, and the Miami Dolphins. And the Atlanta Falcons. And then the Chicago Bears, New Orleans Saints, and Jacksonville Jaguars are basically all right around $19 for a hot dog and a beer. Both the LA Rams and the LA Chargers at $19.49. And at number one on the top of the list, the Seattle Seahawks at just under $20, $19.98.
Wow. When we went to the SoFi Stadium, which is where the Rams play for the Super Bowl, one bottle of beer, and maybe that was Super Bowl pricing, I don't know. One bottle of beer was $17 just for one, like the aluminum.
It's crazy.
The aluminum, like Bud Light bottle or whatever that you get.
Right.
Yeah. $17. Like each time when you would tip and buy two beers, it was almost $40 just for two beers.
Yeah.
Two beers.
That's crazy.
I mean, you can have multiple meals for $40.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
It is pretty crazy.
Well, believe it or not, it's time to start planning and booking your holiday flights.
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay, where are we going?
We're going to Grenada right after Thanksgiving, first week of December.
How much is that costing me to go there with you for my flight?
It cost very little. I went with American, and you got one connection in Miami. You're only in Miami for like 45 minutes to an hour, and then
that's not too bad.
You're in Grenada like 2 hours later. It's pretty.
Wow.
It's actually a pretty easy flight.
I was looking for flights to maybe go to like the Tampa area the day after Christmas And those are just ridiculous.
Well, I hope you don't need a rental car.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because that's also the worst time to get one, huh?
Yeah. And just because you reserve a rental car, as 9 News consumer reporter John Matarese will tell you, doesn't mean
Doesn't
you'll actually
guarantee it.
get one.
There was a famous clip out of Seinfeld once.
Oh, yeah.
He goes up to the counter and says, "We reserved a car." And she goes, "Well, yeah, but we don't have it for you." He says, "But I reserved it." She says, "That doesn't mean we have it."
Yeah.
That is, isn't that nuts?
I'm pulling up the flights. If you leave the day after Christmas and come back on New Year's Eve, it's like $500-$600 to go to Florida.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flying on Christmas week. Just don't do it.
I know.
Don't do it. Great time to fly is like January 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go down
for
there.
the new year.
Yeah, go down January 3rd, and then guess what? Disney is like empty.
Oh, yeah. That's when they rent all the marathons at Disney.
Yeah,
is
they
in
do have the
January.
marathons. Yeah. Get people there.
Yeah. So is it worth buying a new iPhone? Today's the day. This is such a sign of September now. We associate the big Apple announcement. You know, they have the big Apple presentation where they introduce all the new products or the upgrades or whatnot. And remember, we used to get so excited about it. Oh, Tim Cook. He's going to make the big announcement.
Oh, people used to line up, and we used to do live reports at the Apple store in Kenwood.
Yeah.
When I called you guys once, and when the iPhone 5, 7 came out, it was like, oh my goodness, it's a new iPhone. And people were lined up overnight for it because it was such a big deal because every phone added exponentially new features. And now people are like, meh. There's a new phone.
Well, that's
Is this
because
16? 16?
Yeah, 16 is coming out today.
But when they had the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 5C, that was new because remember they had colors.
They had
too.
colors. You could get a colored case on it, and it had the home button, and people were going crazy about that. And now the iPhone has looked the same for like the past 7-8 years. However, the 16 is supposed to bring some new things to the table.
Improved camera?
Yeah, way better camera, better
Faster
video,
processor.
faster processor. And actually, there's supposed to be a button on the side, a shutter button for the camera. So you won't have to tap the screen to take a picture. You'll be able to use your thumb. So I'm interested in seeing that because that might be kind of cool, kind of neat. The biggest thing it's coming with is AI. And a lot of people are like, because we already see so many AI features around. It's not going to be quite Chat GPT, they say, where it's going to write your kid's term paper. But it's still, there's AI features coming. It's going to launch at $800 for the base phone, and then of course goes over $1,000 once you want to get the fancy one that Fritch has.
Yeah.
And then you get the insurance and the Apple Care and everything else.
I'm not doing it, John. My phone's already dated, and I haven't even had it for a couple of months.
And that's for the smallest amount of memory. So if you want anything,
that's right. You need more than 16 gigs, and remember the upgrade fee and all the other things that they charge you for. So do you need, I've been reading several reports, 9 to 5, Mac and Forbes and Tech Radar and probably some of these geeky sites that Jeff reads. And they're saying, no, if you don't need a new phone right now, you don't have to get this 16. And in fact, if your older phone, I have a 12 here.
What if you have an 11?
Yeah, if you have an 11 or 12, you know what's a great time to upgrade to this fall? A 15.
Oh, okay.
Because they're slashing the prices as of next week on the 15.
And that's what you do. You wait how many generations before you trade it in?
I'm always a couple of generations behind. Remember, I'm on a 12 right now.
Yeah.
So my upgrade, when I do it, will be to a 15.
And when you got the 12, that was an older model at the time.
Yeah, when I got the 12, they're already out with the 15. Tim just said he got a battery.
Yeah, so Chris bought the $75 battery replacement for an 11 fridge.
Yeah.
And it didn't make anything faster, but it did alleviate all the weirdness from the battery jacking stuff up.
Or like the battery dying halfway through the day. Because
dying
that
at
was a
11
big
a.m.
issue.
Yeah, it
It's
lasts
like
all day now.
you had to plug it in by noon if you've been up since whatever.
But it's probably bought us another year or two.
Nice.
With that
It'll get you
phone.
another year out of it. The problem is if you have an iPhone older than a 12 at this point, and even with my 12, I'm starting to see some apps are just running slow.
Yeah.
They're running slow. And you're trying to keep an iPhone X going right now. Good luck. Because just some things won't open. Web pages. That you like to visit won't open. It's like, why isn't this app working? Because the app has advanced beyond your iPhone X. Wow. So if you need a phone, it's coming out today. iPhone 16. It's always say, don't waste your money.
All right. What are you working on for tonight, John?
Well, we're going to show you everything on that new phone. And did you see gas at $2.99 a gallon?
did.
What's up with that? Yeah.
I love it. We'll take that. Gas prices dropping everywhere.
I like it.
All right. Thank you, John. And we're going to play John out with that famous Seinfeld bit when
There
he
you
went to go rent a car, like Fritch is when she goes down to Tampa this Christmas
For my flight that I haven't even booked yet.
looking for a car rental.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we have no midsize available at the moment.
I don't understand. I made a reservation. Do you have my reservation?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, we ran out of cars.
But the reservation keeps the car here. That's why you have the reservation.
I know why we have reservations.
I don't think you do. If you did, I'd have a car. So you know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold the reservation. And that's really the most important part of the reservation, the holding. Anybody can just take them.
Let me speak with my supervisor.
Here we go.
Thanks for starting your day with Cincinnati's Morning Show
Jeff, Jen, Fritch, and Tim.
on Q102.